Hello, everyone, and welcome back to That One Conservative Gamer, where I've got a face for radio and a voice that'll make you want to rip your ears off. Got a good one for you today, as you can see on the screen here. The Jezebel wrote a good one. Oh my god, so I don't know if Shannon Malero, I believe is how you pronounce her name, did her due diligence in her research or not before writing this article. Regardless, this should not have been published. This should not have been published for a couple of reasons. And if you are conservative and not a gamer, I'll explain. And if you are a gamer and not a conservative, you already know what's going on here. So, number one, Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is a series that was started by Midway as a video game tie-in to the movie Bloodsport. So Johnny Cage was originally going to be Jean-Claude Van Damme and his character in Bloodsport. I've not personally seen that movie. That is my fault. I feel like I fail as a man for not seeing that one. But at the same time, Van Damme's not my favorite action film star. So, problem number two, Chun Li. Chun Li is I believe she's Chinese character in Street Fighter, which is owned by Capcom. Completely different from Midway, who created Mortal Kombat, and NetherRealm Studios, who own the Mortal Kombat franchise now. But I wanted to point this out because this is the biggest problem with mainstream news media trying to come into the video game space without doing their due diligence. And later on in the article, we'll go over that how much of a slap in the face, number one, to gamers it is, and then number two, how just how funny this entire situation is. But before we begin, I need you guys to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, so you are alerted whenever we post a new video, and then hit that like button so that this video goes up in the rankings. But before we have a laugh and slash cringe fest to this, I want you guys to know that this is in no way reflecting my thoughts and feelings towards the writer or Jezebel as a whole. I don't care. I don't care about either of them. I just found this hilarious and needed to share with you. So, let's get into the article. Cinema is back, baby, in a big way. Forget the amateur films of the award seasons where two people stand at the edge of a cliff somewhere in Great Britain, pining for each other but never finding a way to make the relationship work. There is a new Mortal Kombat hitting HBO Max, and life is fucking good. Scorsese is shaking in his oversized spectacles watching, probably for the 15th time, the trailer, the latest film version that brings to life the gore of the original video game. The trailer itself is worthy of at least 2 Oscars for its special effects and stunt coordination. Specifically for the preview scene where Sub-Zero turns his enemy's blood into a knife. What? As you can see, she's already trying to kind of throw it in Martin Scorsese's face about the I believe he made some disparaging remarks against like Marvel and the rest of them. But she continues, being the astute film critic that I am, immediately clocked a glaring error in the film. Where in all the realms is Chun Li? If there is a battle for the fate of the earth, then why don't we need all of the greatest warriors gathered, which would include Chun Li and her spinning bird kick that can knock a man's head clean off? I don't even know if I can continue reading past this without laughing hard, but we'll stop right here and kind of go over the feeling that this article is. Notice how they always talk about they're talking about the female lead and how great she is at knocking a man's head clean off. It's clear that these people have a bias towards the females of the movies and video games, because later on she talks about Sonya Blade and stuff like that. But the difference between the biggest difference between the two franchises is that they have nothing to do with each other, and that Mortal Kombat is a more realistic take, whereas well, as realistic as you can get with people freezing stuff and having skulls that spit fire. But Street Fighter is more of an anime type game where they shoot energy blasts from their hands and stuff like that. Just wow. Oh my. Just reading that last sentence is still, I still can't believe that somebody actually wrote this without knowing anything about Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. But let's continue. Sounds like a pretty big plot hole to me that the ultimate street fight is supposed to be won by a ragtag team helmed by Sonya Blade. No offense to the Sonya stands. I don't know if they're going to create their own story for Mortal Kombat, or if they're going to try and go off the Mortal Kombat 9. Yeah, Mortal Kombat 9 story, where they kind of rebooted the entire series. But originally, it was Raiden, or Raiden. It really depends upon how you want to name it, because it can go either way. But in the Mortal Kombat series, I believe they call him Raiden. So Raiden is the one that gathers up all of Earthrealm's warriors, being Sonya Blade, Johnny Cage, which we'll get into in a minute, Liu Kang, Kung Lao. There's a couple of more, I think, for Earthrealm. But Sub-Zero originally fought for the Netherrealm. Or the other realm. Is it the Nether or the other? I can't. There's so many realms. But yeah, so it was originally brought together by Raiden, not Sonya Blade. So I feel like that's going to be more of an appeal to the SJWs, but I'm not going to make a judgment before the movie comes out, and we'll just continue with this article. I don't know if I can get through this without laughing, because there's quite a bit. Absence of Chun Li aside, the trailers is the dog's bollocks. What? Really? They had to talk about dog balls here? In the extremely bloody, action-packed film, which is super realistic study on the cross-section of kung fu and elemental magic, will premiere on April 16th. Choose your fighter wisely. So, Notice that they haven't talked about one of the reasons why that Mortal Kombat was even made. Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage is actually the full scan of Jean-Claude Van Damme, but because they pulled out that Bloodsport license, they had to change Johnny Cage. So I believe they changed the actor or superimposed the different face on him. I can't remember the exact details for it, but I remember that they pulled the license, and so they had the game, and they decided to make it the franchise that it is today. But Johnny Cage is nowhere in this movie, and that really, number one, upsets me because Johnny Cage was in the original Mortal Kombat. But number two, he's also in the reboot, and in the reboot, I think he is the one that ends up winning the Mortal Kombat for Earthrealm and preventing the merging of the other realm, Outworld, whatever. There's so many realms in Mortal Kombat. You think, and I don't really enjoy the games, so I don't really play a whole lot of Mortal Kombat. So kind of bear with me if I got some of the details wrong, uh, because I'm not a huge Mortal Kombat fan, but I understand that Chun Li is not supposed to be in Mortal Kombat. So she posted this article at 4:20 p.m. Okay, 4:20 blaze at p.m. At 4:39, they had to update this. Update. Jezebel has discovered the answer to our question about Chun Li's erasure, and it is that Chun Li is not a part of the Mortal Kombat Megaverse. Wow. Let's see what some of the comments are, because I can't. It's so baffling to me. This burning in my nether parts. Okay. Said, I can never tell when Jezebel is making joke posts. Mortal Kombat does not equal Street Fighter. I can understand why the distinction seems a bit left Twix versus right Twix factory to people who aren't gamers. I'm not really a fighting game person myself, to be honest, but I did a double check to confirm that they were completely different franchises developed and distributed by completely different companies. This is sort of like asking why Captain Picard never showed up in the new Star Wars trilogy, or why Wilson from Home Improvement never gave any stage advice to Hal Wilkerson, or why George Clooney's Doug Ross never showed up on Grey's Anatomy. So, as you can see, a lot of people are kind of like, this is stupid. I can't believe that this made it past her editors. Jezebel, you need to do a better job at not only looking at the I can't. It's still funny to me. It makes me laugh so hard. You need to do better at researching what you're talking about. Number one. Number two, if you post something like this, it's best if you just it's best if you just admit that you were wrong instead of, and which you did, lo and behold. But I mean, this should never have gotten past your editor. So that's it, guys, for this this special video. I could not just leave it alone. Like I kept reading the title over and over, and it was like, is this real? Is this a thing? Why didn't they catch this? So that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much, and have a good evening.